So, people are surprised, by the way, hi YouTube, people are surprised that the government is watching. I am not. What I am surprised by is by the fact that the government is remembering. Government remembering scares me far more. The reason for this being is that it's actually what the whistleblower Edward Snowden has pointed out. No matter how long they need wait, no matter what you have done, one day, if I were, say, convicted of terrorism, they will be able to pull up everything. And I mean everything that I have ever done online, every email that I've ever sent to my mother, to my father, to my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, to the neighbor down the street, to people I have never met across the world. And this scares me immensely. This may not seem all that important. I mean, hell, I'd be convicted for terrorism, right? Until we realize what's passing for terrorism these days. And a lot of things that are being called terrorism shouldn't be. Not by any stretch of our imagination. Or rather, by any common stretch of imagination. I shouldn't say that. Some evil motherfuckers are really coming up with some twisted ways to call people terrorists. And, well, yeah. Now, this is not the only thing. Now, the reason this works against Obama, it has continued. If it did not start, it has continued under his watch. He has allowed it to go on. Reason number one why I apologize for voting for Obama. Reason number two. He has made it okay to kill Americans overseas. Or he cannot understand why we do not think it is okay to kill Americans overseas without due process and trial and what say you. So again, I'm having to apologize. I'm sure there's reasons 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 that we should continue. Actually, reason number 3. He is trying to make it illegal to carry weapons. At one point in time, actually, no. I still stand by what I've said before. I do not agree that men and women need military assault rifles. However, we really should all be carrying handguns. Now, keep in mind, I will never have a gun in my house. I will never allow one. Why? Because I have too many children in my care, and I will not allow them to even remotely get hurt. This is a fear of mine. It is a very real and very valid fear, and I will not let it come true. However, I do believe that my neighbors should get the option to own firearms. And after a while, it kind of starts to make sense why everywhere but where many children roam, that parents should be allowed to carry firearms. Now, on schools, I do not believe this should be legal. The reason for this being is that it does not belong around children. It does not belong around tiny fingers with curious minds. And it's not worth the risk. For, a few hours of sanity? It's never worth the risk. Reason number 4, I'm having to apologize for voting for Obama. This is an old reason that I actually had for not wanting to vote for Obama, but I kept going with him because I thought he upheld every of my other views. He is against marijuana. He is against pot. This is something I disagree with as a human being. I believe that it should be legal and allowed amongst everyone, and I mean everyone. And I believe that by not making it legal, he's actually killing more Americans than he is any other way. I am, of course, not apologizing to the Republicans, so those like Hayden Cowler can still kiss my ass. I'm apologizing to people like the libertarians and the liberals and the every other nutter, every other tinfoil hat wearer. I'm apologizing to them. The reason I am apologizing to them is because, well, someone has to. Because I've heard no one else do it. I've heard no one else say, hey, fuckers were right. Of course, I've always known that they were right. I just didn't know how right. I have never been able to believe that anyone could be this right. Real quick, before I end this video, I would like to thank the original, well, not the original, but the NSA whistleblower who has put this all into everyone's perspective, who has shown people, who has told people what is going on, what is really going on. Edward Snowden we could hope that he would live a long and natural life. However, I highly doubt this. In 10 years, we'll forget about him. And in 20 years, we will hear about his death. And then, well, same old, same old. Hopefully he will not ever get assassinated by a government, but the more we are learning, and the more we are realizing is true in some of our cases, well, the prospect is becoming less and less likely that he will be okay, that he will ever be okay. And you almost have to feel sorry for the guy for that. So, continuing, or getting off that thought, again, liberals, libertarians, and other tinfoil hat wearers, mostly the libertarians, I'll admit, the alien watchers, the whatever else. I'm sorry. I will continue to laugh at you, but I'm sorry for not believing you. This is Alex Bailey, signing out. Peace.